sir.
Feeling like Grash Unleashed. Bullet Club go around here, I'm a cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Grash Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Yellow, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. I bet you thought you the EST, but homie, you don't even really go here. I'm better than you and you know it. Scumbag, baby, I'ma make that clear. Making many moves while I'm headed on a flight. On the megastar, baby, on these LA nights. Putting on 5-star classics, contract year, cause today is a whole new price. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like Grash Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Grash Unleashed podcast. This is episode 106 of the show that brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh. And joining me once again this week is my main man, my brother from another mother and father, if you will, representing OTS Media Co., none other than Derek Myers Jr. What is good with you, my brother?
All is well, bro. How you doing?
Man, you know what it is. We are in a festive mood this go around. You know how we do over here.
Yes, sir.
You representing that one Super Bowl champion. You can see if you're watching on the video format, you can see it over his left shoulder. Man got the cigar ready. This man is already ready to talk his shit.
You know what it is.
I was like, bro, I hit you up the other day. I said, hey, bro, I got to get you on the show because I need you to talk your shit. And the reason why I say I need you to talk your shit because even I did not predict that game. Because the asshole that I am, I said, bro, I hope both teams lose. That's just me being an asshole. I was like, I hope both teams lose. And then I watched the game, and I'm like, wait a minute. No three-peat. Okay. I'm like, first half, I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm like, okay. They warming up. Second half, I'm like, oh, y'all fucked. Because one thing about me, if you don't settle anything by the second half or the second quarter, I know for a fact that you're fucked.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm like, So my overall assumption and analysis of Super Bowl, what was this? What 59. Number was this? 49?
59.
59. Super Bowl. My overall analysis of Super Bowl 59 is it was not a good night for biracials. You listen. It was not a good night for biracials on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm just saying that right now.
Or coons.
Oh.
Was not it. That was not the show you wanted to watch.
Nah,
bro. I mean, look, it is what it is, man. I think one of the things that that we have to understand is this was a team of destiny. This was going to happen. There was nothing that was going to stop this team. And I think if you paid attention to the Celtics, but I'm a Celtics fan and an Eagles fan, so this has been one hell of a year.
Yeah.
But if you've been paying attention to the Eagles from day one of the offseason, you would have known that this is what was going to happen, bro. And I have a couple of teams I want to actually thank. Okay,
go for it. So
Washington Commanders, thank you for all you did with sending out Jahan Dotson. The Giants, thank you for doing all you did. Thank you for everything you did. For sending Saquon out the door and right into our door. For the Cowboys, Thank you very much. Thank you very much for not hiring my OC. Thank you for not hiring him as your head coach. Thank you very much. And let me say this one thing, bro, because I know you as a Dolphins fan, I hate to do this, bro, but I want to thank the Dolphins for not taking Vic Fangio seriously. I want to thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I can't defend him because I was getting pissed. I'm like, y'all are not taking this serious,
bro. There was a lot of teams that helped us get to where we are, and I want to make sure they get their flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a village, and the one thing that I think this shows you is that you need a team. It's not just one person. You need a team to win, right? And we have a league. We got a league, bro. We got a league that helps us become who we are. We appreciate it very much. We appreciate every one of you for doing your part and doing what it took to make sure that we got right here. You know what I'm saying? So Eagles are your Super Bowl champs, and we're already working on what we need to do to make sure that we go back to back. Why not start a dynasty of our own, and then we take our shot at doing a three-peat? Look, I think everyone should have known that three-peat wasn't happening for the Chiefs.
Yeah,
it wasn't happening, bro. If you watched their season all year, that wasn't happening.
They got lucky too many times.
Up in the names and past and Taylor Swift. But if you actually paid attention to how these guys played, they weren't doing anything. I said from the jump, the most competitive game we would have had in the Super Bowl was going to either be between us and the Ravens or us and the Bills. That would have been a significantly better game than the Chiefs, man. Significantly better. So they'll get their shot next year. Let's see what happens.
They gotta actually fucking play.
Yeah.
and not go off of luck, because listen, if you peel back the Taylor Swift propaganda, if you peel back all the other bullshit they was doing this entire season, they got extremely lucky.
Yes, they did.
Extremely lucky. And this is coming from an outsider looking in, because none of my teams made it to the Super Bowl. But I'm telling you this right now, from my analysis and from my own eyeballs, they got lucky.
Most definitely. And there was a lot of questionable calls throughout the season, as for the last couple of years it has been for them. And I think one thing I will say, the referees stayed out of this Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed out of this one. They messed us up that last time. They stayed out of this one.
They messed up a lot of teams in the past.
Yeah,
that probably should have won, but
they
stayed out of this one, and they honestly inadvertently exposed the Chiefs for being lucky this season. And I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, and then let's shout out to the Eagles defense.
Bro.
Like, bro got sacked 4 times. Was it 4 or 5 times? 6 times, and dropped a couple of 4 picks.
Yeah,
like, brother.
Yeah, I mean they made Mahomes look average. They made Mahomes look like Daniel Jones, bro. I didn't expect to see that one, man. That looked bad. I didn't expect to see that. I didn't expect them to win. I expected it to be a good game, but I didn't expect that part.
Nah, that's why I'm like, bro. Yeah, if you were biracial, this night was not for you.
Hey, man. I mean, look, that goes for Mahomes. That goes for Drake. Slick even goes for J. Cole, bro. Because he had to sit there and he had to watch both. He had to watch that. Watch his boys go at it, and that couldn't have been a good feeling. So, I will say, I think if anything, that is probably a reason as to why Travis Kelce should leave Taylor Swift. And hey, look, I'm not Dr. Umar. You love who you love.
Listen,
But the difference between a black woman in this man's life and Taylor Swift in this man's life has been dramatic.
listen.
It's been dramatic, bro. And
We
she
all,
was even celebrating his loss. You had Drake's ex celebrating his loss and Travis Kelce's ex celebrating his loss. That is wild, bro.
Now, on her defense, I believe she was already an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
And people trying to mix up and saying she was stalking Travis, but I'm like, no, she's always been an Eagles fan. Like, if you've seen her social media, I think she's been like an Eagles fan since like 22.
Yeah, I think she's been with us for a while. Taylor Swift is even an Eagles fan. That's
what's crazy too. Isn't she from Philly?
She's from Philly, bro.
So it's like, you traitor? No wonder they booed your ass.
That's what people think it's deeper than that, man. Nah, it's not. We're also tired of seeing her on.
Honestly, next season, if they stay together, next season they seriously need to kill that, because that's the reason why I never watched the Chiefs games like that.
Bro, I didn't watch their games.
Like, I would watch the highlights so I could know what's going on.
Yeah.
But as far as like sitting there watching the whole game, I got tired. Like, I watched one game and they kept cutting to her. I think they cut to her like 20 times per quarter.
Yeah. No,
I'm just sitting there like, I'm done.
At this point, she needs to be in Madden, bro. Like,
yeah, that needs to be a cutscene in Madden.
She needs to be in Madden.
Sure. Just a cutscene every time you play as the Chiefs. As soon as they score a touchdown, have Taylor Swift right there. Or if you can't get the likeness, her likeness in the game, just a random white woman. They all look alike, and just start cheering like, woo! And then make sure you get a puffy light skin next to her. That's Ice Spice. So get a puffy hair light skin right next to her, and they just cheer.
Yeah. Hey, man, look.
And listen, we mentioned light skins and biracials. Let's go ahead and digest that K-Dot halftime.
Hey, man. Overall, what did you think of the performance? Overall, what did you think of it?
Overall, I felt like it was simple because I think because the last 2 years was so over the top. We went from Rihanna to Usher.
Yeah.
And it was so extravagant to where I'm like, But then I think that what stopped me from expecting it to be as extravagant, because isn't this like his second time or third time being in the Super Bowl?
Kendrick?
Like, hasn't he been on a feature before?
You know, I don't think so.
I think he's been a feature before, and the last time, I could be wrong, but the last time he performed, I think he was like a feature with somebody else. I'm trying to remember. I think it was.
Look at that.
I'm trying to think. The reason why I say that, because I believe the last time I saw him at the Super Bowl, it was about the same like aesthetics. Let me see. First time.
You are correct.
Oh,
he did 56.
50 cents?
56.
Oh, 56. So that's what I'm saying. And the last time I remember, it was a militant performance, but it was.
Oh, that's right. He did do that.
Yeah. Was it him in The Dream? I mean, not The Dream. The Weeknd. Or was it, I forgot who he was.
I know it was with Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
And that was with Dr. Dre and Snoop. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
But when he was on it, it was similar to this. So that's where I was like, yeah, it's not going to be as extravagant and over the top.
I mean, if people paid attention to his award show performances anyway, like, it's kind of had that aesthetic.
Yeah.
Anyway, like,
because the reason why I brought that up is because I've seen that argument. It's like, oh, it was so simple. Like, I was expecting more. I'm like, well, that was your first mistake.
Yeah, he didn't veer off from what he does.
He literally said the revolution will be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good message that he put out there. And honestly, I'm not sure if I don't think Trump was announced to be there until like 2 weeks ago. So I wouldn't expect him to have known that Trump was going to be there. But for him to perform that show in front of Trump, I'm sure that went over his head.
It went over a lot of people's head.
You went over a lot of people's heads, but
in both communities. That's the sad part.
Yes. I mean, I thought it was very well done, bro. I mean, the shots at Drake, the shots at America, the establishment in general,
Uncle Sam.
I like he did a great job, bro. Like it was very well balanced, and it felt like Kendrick. What more do you want the guy to do? Like to sit here and act like he should have done. Like
I've seen this argument where they was like, I shouldn't watch a halftime show and turn my brain on, and I'm like, you turn your brain off?
Here's the thing. Like if you're a fan of Kendrick, I can understand for people who aren't. My bad.
No, you good.
I can understand for people who aren't familiar with Kendrick. But if you're familiar with Kendrick, everything he does has some type of messaging in it. Like he doesn't just go out and just perform the song and that's it. He has a message in it somewhere, whether it's the lyrics or it's the actual performance. There is a message in there. To sit here and act as if you shouldn't know that just means you weren't paying attention to Kendrick the whole time. You don't know Kendrick, and that's fine, but don't act like you know him as an artist and then sit here and get mad at his halftime show when it's literally just what he does all the time. Every single time he performs. That's how he performs.
I didn't realize how much I was a Kendrick fan until I caught myself mouthing. Like after I recognized the beat, I was like, "Oh, yeah, let's go!" Yeah, like that lets you know how much I enjoyed it. Because I'm like, I'm sitting there, like I'm sitting in my living room. My sister's right there watching it, and I'm just mouthing everything. She's like, "Wait, what's this song?" I said, "Oh, that's Bodies." And then he was like, "Wait, what's this?" I was because the first song, she was like, "I have no idea what he's saying." And then when I broke it down to her, she was like, "Oh, yeah, that's fire." So if you're willing to learn and open your mind, you can understand it more. If you're not willing, that's your prerogative. We'll just leave you right there,
bro. Look, the people who are sitting here acting as if this is one of the worst halftime shows. We live in a world where Bruce Springsteen was a halftime performer. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? I mean, are you gonna sit here and say that was a top 5, top 10 performance? Maybe not. I mean, Michael Jackson, Prince, like Bruno and Beyonce, which you just reminded me that was actually Coldplay. Like, you know,
people still don't remember that. I'm like, bro, that was Coldplay's.
That threw me off. Usher, Rihanna, you know what I'm saying? Like you have all these other ones that if you want to put those above his, okay, that's fine. I got him in my top 10.
Yeah. I would literally have to sit back and replay the last 10 or the ones that I recognize. Yeah. Because I'm not gonna say every last one of them was great because it's subjective. I'm gonna have to literally sit back and replay every last one of them and rank my top 10 because it's been a minute since I've seen a lot of them. Yeah. But I could definitely say in my top 10 is Dots, Usher, Rihanna, and the one featuring Beyonce and Bruno Mars, even though they're not the ones. Yeah. And Beyonce's halftime show.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he did a great job, but it comes down to, for me, I got to do the same thing to rank them. But I think for me, if I'm able to sit there and just get lost in the performance and enjoy it, bro, this is halftime of my Eagles being in the Super Bowl. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like I remember, what was it? 2017-18 season where we were in there. Justin Timberlake was a halftime show. Do you know, I still don't know what he did. I remember seeing Purple. I don't remember that show, bro. I don't remember that whatsoever. Rihanna performed in the last one we were in that we lost, and
Was that the 2022?
2022.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2022, 2023.
yeah, that was that year, and
Oh yeah, she was performing pregnant.
yeah, yeah, and like I loved it, but I had so much anxiety, but confidence going in that, and I was like, eh. So this
One
one,
thing I've noticed after, because I was in during that Rihanna performance, I was in North Carolina. I think I was in Charlotte.
Mhm.
So the company I was working for that night, they put her performance, they put the game on the screen because they didn't care about the game, but they put the performance because they were fans of. They just wanted to hear Rihanna or whatever.
Yeah,
And the initial reaction from other people I saw was, "Oh, that was it. That was it. Whatever. That was boring." And then I've noticed that is a trend
for every black
for
artist.
every black artist.
Yeah,
But then when you look at their numbers on YouTube and the ratings for their segments,
it's
you're
not
like, everybody was watching. So how are you
yeah.
hating, but you're watching?
So this is where I like, and that so I don't know because I was we were talking about this on my show last night. I don't know if we're going to go back to the times of a Bruce Springsteen halftime show,
Mm-hmm.
especially with Apple Music being over it now. I don't know that we're gonna have the those old white artists that people want. I like
A lot of
it's
these
just
old white artists aren't even good anymore.
they're
Like
not.
they're nostalgia acts. Like the best you can get is a residency in Vegas from
Yes.
these people.
Yeah.
And even then, you gonna be sitting. They're gonna be sitting there in a chair, and they're gonna be putting the mic to y'all because they're gonna forget some lyrics. I
Yeah.
know how these old heads, and then the niggas who still trying to say, "Oh, Wayne should have did this." You want
No.
Wayne that
No.
struggles to perform live because, mind you, I saw this nigga in Philly
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
This dude forgot the words to a Millie.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, I'm a
No.
venereal disease. Like he skipped the whole verse. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah. And that was just a snippet too. That was right before Jey Uso came out,
Yeah,
right?
that was like a
Yeah.
snippet. So that's why
Nah,
I'm
bro.
like, this
Nah.
wouldn't have worked. It would
It
have
wouldn't
been
have worked.
13 minutes of this man gassed
Yeah.
on a halftime show. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I get it on one hand, of wanting him to be there because that's where he's from. But that's not how we do it, man. That should not the place that the Super Bowl is being hosted, the halftime show should not be subjected to just who is from that area. Is it a nice touch? Yes. But is it necessary? No. No, it's not. I forgot who did the halftime show when the Super Bowl was here in Atlanta. I can't recall if that
Good
was
question.
I don't know if there was an Atlanta artist on that one or not.
Oh, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
What was it? When was they in Atlanta? Was it?
2016 or 17, I think.
Gotcha. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Maybe 18 at the no. No, 18 was us. So that was Minnesota.
I think it was in 2019.
19. Okay.
The halftime show was it was Maroon 5.
Bro, you see what I'm saying? And you had an argument for Ludacris or T.I.
The only guy that
Usher.
was there from Atlanta was Big Boy.
That's right.
He was the feature.
That's right.
Him and Travis Scott.
That's right. Nah, bro. I'm sorry. That can't be the criteria. I want good artists. It doesn't matter where the Super Bowl is being played.
Damn, we did a leap. We went from hip hop to I don't know what Maroon 5 does. We went from them to Jennifer Lopez and Shakira.
That was the most boring one.
That was 2020, actually.
That was trash. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That one I could not stand. I could not stand that one. And I get it, but nah, not for halftime, bro.
Then they went to The Weeknd, and then they did the one where it was
The Weeknd
Dr.
was good.
Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick featuring
Yeah.
50 Cent and Anderson .Paak.
Yeah. That was look. We're not going back to the old days of halftime shows.
Nah.
So I'd rather it's either y'all get with it or just don't watch it.
No, I can if you had to throw a name out there, if they
Mhm.
want to switch it up from hip hop, who would you throw out there?
It depends on what genre we're going with because I can only see them doing hip hop and R&B moving forward. I can't
I have my two.
see
I have my
really
two.
pop like that. Who?
I have either Bad Bunny
Bad Bunny makes sense.
or, and this is a stretch for some people, but I feel like he has a powerful enough voice and stage presence. You ever heard of Teddy Swims?
Yes.
I can
Yes.
see him as well
I can see
because he has enough upbeat songs to
yeah.
balance it out. And he
Yeah.
just dropped a fire track with Coco Jones and Glow, so he can
Yeah.
bring them out too. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That like it's so many new artists.
I can see Glorilla
I can see Glorilla or Coco. Like
or Coco.
I feel like
Yeah.
she could do something.
I honestly I don't know if we'll ever get to this point, but we need to. Chris Brown
He
needs.
hasn't had one.
I don't think he's done a halftime show, bro.
Hmm.
I don't think, and honestly,
I mean, if people want to use that his past excuse, they gave Dr. Dre a halftime show, and he has a checkered past.
no, a lot of people do. Like a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? Chris Brown deserves one. If we're talking about,
from a talent's point of view, yeah,
legends, yeah, yeah. Chris Brown deserves one.
yeah, I definitely want. So, last overall, I guess we could say, how would we rank this Super Bowl performance this year? Like as a fan of this this style of artistry, rap, if you will, I would give it a solid 7.5.
You know what?
Maybe an 8. I'll give it an 8.
I'm 8.59. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a high rank. It's like out of
yeah,
10, it's a high rank.
yeah.
And the reason why I say 8 or like I could have went with 9, but it's just like it's I don't try to say, oh, it's a flat out 10 because it was perfect.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't perfect.
No,
No performance is perfect to me.
no.
So like I'm also putting in the fact like some things in production I feel like could have been a little bit better. Some things in
Yes.
choreography could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
I feel like the choreography was too simple in my opinion as far as the background dancers. But it's like what can you do because you got so many people on that stage. I like
In a
the
short period of
panning. I like the panning of when he for Peekaboo. I love that,
Yes.
especially when he popped up Peekaboo. I was like, I
Yeah.
bust out laughing
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
But and I like the fact that basically the entire setup was basically a video game, tribute to PlayStation. So
PlayStation.
how
Yeah.
he ended game over, he's like, "Hey, we're all playing a game,"
Yes.
and
Which I don't think people truly understand.
no,
You know, and there were even some theories that Squid Game was trickled into this
oh, it
as
was
well.
the amount of people, it definitely
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. So like 8.59, like I'm gonna just say 9, man. The only reason why I probably wouldn't say a 10 is because, you know, I think I would have liked to have heard some of his older tracks as well, like
Oh yeah,
prior
because he went straight
to.
with Humble and DNA, the two
Yeah, I think
commercials.
we only had if I'm remember
He went
correctly,
he went to Humble, DNA, then he went to the new one, Luther, and then what's that? What was the Stars
Stars, yeah.
with
So
SZA?
you only had the Black Panther soundtrack,
Mm-hmm. And the
Damn,
Humble. I mean, and the
and
damn
GNX, if I'm not
and the
mistaken.
damn
Those are the only
yeah,
3
it was
albums.
Humble, it was Damn, GNX, and Black Panther. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So
the Bodies wasn't from an album. It was
that's an unreleased track.
it's an unreleased track.
Yeah. So I like I would have liked to have heard a little bit of Good Kid, Mad City, like
Yeah.
something like that. But outside of that, I can't be mad at what he did. He did a great job.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
And shout out Uncle Sam. Dude's hilarious.
Oh, bro, amazing. Did a great job.
And shout out SZA. Looking good.
And I love the petty. So shout out Serena.
Oh yeah, Serena, bro.
Oh my god. She came on our screen, man. I was sitting here floored. I enjoyed every bit of that. Loved it.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. So we spent enough time talking about Super Bowl. That was like 30 minutes. So I guess we might as well go ahead and talk about the stuff that a lot of people are here to talk about. Once again, excuse my voice. Going through some under the little bit of the weather, but I'm fighting it, so I'm good. But we're here to talk about some good professional wrestling. Did you catch anything this week?
I caught a little bit of Raw Monday, but the Celtics were playing, so I had to watch that game first and then switch over.
Hey man, I get it. So I'm gonna definitely lead the way mostly, but I guess we could talk about some outside the ring news to start off. Yes. You're familiar with AEW, right?
Yeah.
So according to Fightful Select, we have a few from AEW side. We have a few releases that was announced. Finally, they have finally cut ties with Absolute Ricky Starks. I don't think you're too familiar with him, are you?
Not at all.
He's basically one of their up and coming ones. His exit has been kind of a long time coming. He had it's some behind the scenes stuff that we don't know about, but I'll definitely send you some stuff. Or if you type in his name, Ricky Starks, you'll definitely see what I'm talking about. He is a talented kid. There's been some comparisons to The Rock from some people. Because the way he cuts his promo, his hairstyle, and the way he dresses. So they be like, oh yeah, he reminds me of The Rock, of a young, or they call him the Pebble, if you will. So even though that's Abel's name, but I digress.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely a talented guy. A lot of people see him going to WWE. In my opinion, if I see him go there, I definitely feel like he needs to go to their developmental brand for a little bit, the NXT brand, because their men's division is kind of lacking right now. As somebody who watches that show from time to time, so I definitely see him. And the next release, according to Fightful, was Miro. How far back are you familiar with WWE?
Yeah, Rusev, right?
Rusev, yeah. He's finally in the clear as well. So this one's a little tricky if I'm honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because he hasn't wrestled since 2023. I believe it was an injury, but it's like creative differences. And I can tell you right here, right now, if he goes back to WWE, that whole shooting down creative ideas ain't gonna fly there.
Yeah.
There's a different machine there. Like if he say no, Triple H will be like, I bet, and put somebody else in his spot. So if he decides to go back to WWE, I hope I feel like he if you've seen his Redeemer stuff, I would definitely say check up his Redeemer stuff in AEW. He has something there with that character. I feel like that's something that can work in WWE, like a hitman, Redeemer type thing, or like he can take a title and dominate that division. But I feel like they can definitely tell us a good story with him if he decides to go back there. Or he can go to TNA. Like there's options out there, or NWA. Like there's options out there if he wants to not go straight back to WWE. But yeah, those are the two people from AEW, excuse me, that were released. And then they also, I mentioned WWE and people going to. It's a lot of people that were actually released, from WWE over the past weekend, if you will. Sonya Deville, her contract will not be renewed according to Fightful Select, but also along with Sonya Deville, Isla Dawn. You remember the one of ladies we saw wrestle Natalia, the lady who we saw wrestle Natalia on Raw. She got released. Giovanni Vinci, he was with Imperium. Paul Ellering and AOP, they were released. Blair Davenport, Cedric Alexander, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. And that Carl Anderson one is weird because he's injured right now. And Elektra Lopez have all been released from WWE 90-day non-compete, which is basically, for those of you who don't understand what a 90-day non-compete clause is basically where, hey, we're giving you a notice. You're still under contract with us. We're giving you a notice that after 90 days, you're done. We're not going to use you on TV, but 90 days, you're done. So, from the, are you familiar with, outside of the one I mentioned, are you familiar with anybody on that list that I mentioned?
Gallows. I forgot the older white guy. I forgot his name.
Paul Ellering?
Yeah.
AOP?
Yeah.
See,
a little bit. I don't know him too much. I saw a couple of his stuff though.
When I look at this list, I'm like, okay, Isla Dawn. They won, her and Alba Fire won the women's tag team championships over the summer when they was in, I think they was clashing the castle in Scotland. And they did nothing with them. So it was kind of like they did solid in NXT, but then once they got to the main roster, a lot of these people, when they got to the main roster, they didn't click.
So that was my question I was about to ask you, because I'm not so familiar with majority of these people, but seeing them in passing, and you tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since I came back into wrestling, it's been about 2 years now, 2.5 years. Since I came back into watching it, I don't feel as if there's enough space or time for someone to fully develop on the main stage. Like, you have to, if you're going to be one of the guys to be on these shows, you have to be in the process of development or developed.
Yeah.
And it would seem as if NXT, and now with their partnership with TNA, possibly having some development over in TNA as well, but it would seem like those are the two places that, those are the best areas for talent to go and develop fully. And if you're not developed or developing and you're stagnant, what's the use?
Now, I can tell you my rebuttal to that. My rebuttal is, you have 2 hours and 30 minutes, or however long you want on Raw on Mondays.
Right.
You can go to 3 hours if you want to.
Right.
And you have 3 hours on SmackDown at least until the summer. For now, it could be permanent, but for now, it's during the summer. So you technically have a lot of time that you need to fill.
Yes.
So for an Isla Dawn and Alba Fire to click with the audience, I would say you should, if you don't want them to wrestle a match, you should create a vignette to give people a reason to give a shit.
Right.
Same with, who else on here? Blair Davenport. She was solid in NXT. She did good in NXT UK. She did good in Stardom in the Japan promotions. And she did some work in AEW that a lot of people either loved or didn't care for. She worked there. So I feel like for the 3 hours on SmackDown, she was on SmackDown. They could have did something with her.
So here's
Go for it.
Proposition. Bring the Cruiserweight title back. Bring a women's Cruiserweight title.
The funny thing is, they have a whole new women's mid-card title.
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
Like, you talking about the IC and the
women's in the US title. Yeah. So that's pretty much, they need a division.
So use
instead of
those,
that's what I'm saying. So instead of
create a Cruiserweight title as well.
They don't need another title, trust me. They have a lot of titles.
If you're gonna go 3 hours.
That's what I'm saying. They have Put it
They
this way.
haven't been doing anything with the US or IC title like that?
They've been floating around. They have not been doing anything.
Okay.
So instead of releasing these people, they need to give them something to cook with. That's what
I
I'm
agree
saying.
with that.
So
I agree with
basically,
that.
if you have Chelsea Green, who's the U.S. Women's Champion,
Mhm.
if you have her sitting around, floating around, and have all these potential challengers, what you should do with these potential challengers is throw them in showcase matches as well as promos and say, "Hey, I'm coming for that U.S. title," and it's
Right.
that simple.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not hard. I
But I
promise.
wouldn't mind seeing a men's cruiserweight title come back though.
Man, they've tried that 3 times and it
I
just
know.
does not work
I know.
because
But
they just cannot commit to it.
I feel like it's almost like a marketing thing. I don't feel like there's an actual issue with the title itself. I feel like it's a marketing thing. I remember growing up watching Raw and SmackDown, and actually back then, cruiserweight title was only on SmackDown, I believe.
Yeah, 2006, 2007. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and there was even though it was one of the titles that weren't the top ones, that was one that you were looking at, and it was like, man, like they create a lot of
Great
desire around it.
moments. Great
Yeah,
moments in desire.
Tajiri and Rey Mysterio, like it was nice. It was nice.
And you can do and the funny thing
You
is
do
about
that.
wrestling, you could do that with all the titles.
Yes,
And if
yes,
you have 3 hours, you don't instead of releasing these people, you can give them opportunity to
yes,
showcase like another name I'll throw out. You mentioned the men's title, Giovanni Vinci. He was
yeah.
with Gunther and Ludwig
Move
Kaiser.
it. Yeah.
There's rumors that there's a reason why because if you look at what they did on TV, they
Mhm.
purposely buried this man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
They did all these vignettes over the few weeks that he was gone, that he split from Imperium, and then he lost to Apollo Crews, who never wins, by the way.
Yeah.
He lost to Apollo Crews in like 4 seconds. And then during a rematch, he lost to Apollo Crews again in 90 seconds. And then you never saw him on TV again.
Yeah.
So it's like you can this list of people you could give a chance. Like Cedric Alexander, he was literally in the middle of a storyline on
Yeah.
NXT with Ethan Page and young up and comer Javon Evans.
Mhm.
And instead of giving him some opportunities to like showcase himself or give him more to cook with, they just stuck him with NXT and they were like, yeah, we're done with you.
Yeah.
Electra Lopez was literally just on TV on Friday. And they say, yeah, good job. You're done though.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
These releases, I feel like a lot of these releases could have been avoided if they gave them something to do. Now, the Sonya Deville one, I feel like the one that what did her in, she had a bad match with Io Sky on
Mhm.
TV.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying it was the worst match I've ever seen,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
it was.
So you and I discussed this on the way to Raw a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is like partially an indictment on Triple H with how he's been running things, right? He's been doing a good job, but it's not perfect.
No.
Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And I feel like since he's been, I will say one thing that I do love about his approach is that he does listen to the audience, right? Um, like we just have to apply more pressure. We have to apply pressure because honestly, I think if you're talking about development and
Opportunity.
opportunity, like obviously the time is there. I'll be honest with you, bro. Raw pissed me off last night because the way the show closed,
Yeah, it
was
pissed a lot of
weird
people
as
off.
hell.
It pissed a lot of people off, that ending.
That was weird as hell. And then
And then just
you
to
see
post it
Kofi
on,
and
and then just
Xavier
to
go
post
for
it,
the attack on Ray.
and then just to post it on on social media. It's like, bro, you're on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
You
I'm not
legitimately
running
could have you could legitimately could have kept the show going for an extra 5 minutes. I
with
promise.
unlimited time. That makes no sense.
It's like you're playing in my face right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it feels like. You're playing
Yeah.
in my face.
Yeah. I get trying to I guess utilize social media more in the sense that you have some content on there. But I'm not a fan of putting what's supposed to be on TV on social media and making us do work. No.
Yeah, because now you're taking the risk of a lot of people being confused.
Yeah.
And my thing is too, it's like if and then what also cracked me up was they just uploaded the entire segment.
Yeah.
And how many times have we seen the LWO get beat down?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. It's nothing new.
It's nothing new. So you could literally show that if that was going to be the thing.
Yeah.
And the only thing we saw was Rey Mysterio get his pebbles cracked on the ring post, and they just kept and they lit everybody up.
Bro.
And then this is a nice transition to Raw anyway this week. How are we feeling about this direction of New Day? Because honestly, I'm personally enjoying it.
I enjoy it. The only thing I don't like is Kofi doesn't have a mustache. Like, that's the only thing I don't like about it. It looks disgusting. It looks gross.
I can't say nothing because around 2020, I was playing with my facial hair. I shaved my entire mustache off.
I tried it too.
And I was ready for it to grow back.
Kofi's like 40 years old, bro. Like, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. We did it in our teens and 20s.
Yeah. I was like, what? I was like 26, 27. Yeah.
Look, outside of that, I love the approach. I love heels. So this does make it fresh. This makes New Day fresh. I'm excited to see where they go with this, where they take it. But like, to me, it's a moot point if they don't get the titles.
True.
If they don't get the titles, there's no reason for all this. Because I want to see if you're capable of being dominant as a tag team as a heel, as you were as a face.
The funny thing is they have the ability because they start off as a heel when they won it the first time. When they won their first set of tag team titles, the longer reign, when they had the longest reign.
Yeah.
So it's doable, but this current direction, I'm interested in see how they do it with this version.
Yeah.
New theme, new attitude. So let's see how they go and where did this lead. So hopefully, well, WWE needs to fix that situation where they're cutting it off before the thing goes because it's on Netflix. Yeah. Why are we paying money to see the content on Netflix, but you cutting the feed?
Bro, not just that, but like we're not seeing the commercial breaks either. I'm getting tired of that.
You're gonna have to get that VPN and switch to the UK feed or something.
Yeah, man, it's not, and I don't like it, man. We gotta change that up
because these American feeds are kind of stupid.
Yeah, I'm not with it, but I like the direction they're taking with New Day. I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
And speaking of stupid, Gunther, basically made Jey Uso's choice easy.
Yes.
Like, brother, you kept saying last week, don't shoot me, don't choose me, I'm a dog walk you.
Yeah.
You attacked a Samoan who has a history of being irrational once provoked.
Yeah.
2020 to like 2023, that's all he did was be irrational because he was physically provoked. And what did you do? You physically provoked the man, and now you got to face the man. You are an idiot.
You know why I'm glad this happened? Because you could see that this was the direction they were going.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm glad it took place because if I'm completely honest with you, bro, I'm bored of Gunther.
You're not the only one who said that.
I'm bored of this.
And I
title.
enjoyed his Intercontinental title reign.
That was a lot better. This doesn't feel the same. This does not feel. It doesn't feel as dominant. He's won, yes. He's defended his title, yes, but it doesn't feel as dominant as that IC reign did. And I don't see this lasting long. Like the type of pop that Jey has had, it makes sense to put the title on him.
Yeah,
but
he's lost to him 3 times.
Yeah.
You can't have that 4th time because I think I said
Yeah.
it. I said it a couple of weeks ago with Marks with Mikes, JT. Shout out to them. Shout out to the crew. But you can't have Jey losing so many times to the point where all this yeeting and it's just me. People gonna stop caring.
Yeah,
because they're gonna like, bro, we're yeeting with the loser.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna keep it 100. Like, we're yeeting with the loser. So it's like, if you keep losing, why should I keep getting behind you if you're gonna keep losing?
I agree. So, I mean, it makes sense to put the title on them, but yeah, I think
what's taking you out with Gunther? What's taking you out with Gunther's title? Because some people probably, the people who are probably in the same agreement with you, because I've seen this online a lot. A lot of people just are bored with Gunther's title reign. It feels like his peak was that Intercontinental title reign.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, and I don't know why, because it should translate to the world title.
Do you think it's the limited opponents? Because if you look back at his Intercontinental title reign, he has some great matches with the guy he beat, who he won the title from, Ricochet, who's now in AEW, doing some of his best work as a heel. He won it from Ricochet. He had a great match with Braun Strowman of all people at one point.
Right.
He has some great matches with that Intercontinental. Hell, he had a great match with Jey Uso of all people for that Intercontinental title. So it's like, what is not clicking with the world title? It's because it's so limited. Because I feel like the only time he defended the title was against Damian Priest,
and
Jey Uso. Am I missing somebody?
Those are the only ones I remember.
I think it was damn, that's it.
But see, okay, so I don't think it's the matches.
It's the how they're booking them.
Build up. It's the booking. Like, it's not working. Something about it does not feel the same. And I'm about storytelling, right?
Facts. Me too. You already know me.
Yeah, bro. I need a compelling story. Damian Priest, you already know. I don't like him. I don't like him.
Oh, I already know.
The matches are great. Like he puts on a great match. It's just something like he reminds me of, like, when Brock Lesnar came in and he didn't have it on the mic. The mic skills weren't there. It feels the same way. Roman Reigns was. The mic skills just weren't there. That's what that feels like for me with Damian Priest. He feels like he's just not telling a compelling story, like, verbally. As a wrestler, he is. I think I'm feeling that same vibe with Gunther. And I don't know if it's because he's not, like, they're not booking him with Imperium as much. Right.
Yeah, and I think that's falling on the feet of on the way Ludwig is booked as well. Like, it's on so many times I can see him chase Braun Breaker and then lose. It's like,
yeah.
I feel like it's an inconsistency of Gunther's booking. Is what's taking a lot of people out. Like, it's like, he's there, he says the same thing. I'm a dog walk you. I'm gonna beat your ass. Blah blah blah. Then he has a great match and rinse and repeat. And I think a lot of people started checking out on him was when he started doubting himself after losing to Cody.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was like, you're doubting yourself against Damian Priest of all people.
Yeah. That didn't feel right.
So it kind of cracked. I guess you could say it kind of cracked his mystique a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
The fear. And then people just stopped taking him 100% serious after that.
Yeah. The booking has to be better for him, because he puts on great matches. Like, it's not like the matches are boring at all. I enjoy watching him wrestle. I
Right.
just don't. The build up just ain't there for me. And for me to care about the match, that build up's gotta be spectacular, bro. Like
So
it's
we have 10 weeks
yeah.
until WrestleMania. So hopefully, and I do mean hopefully, and I really mean hopefully they spend the next 10 weeks. Like, what do you desire for this next 10 weeks? Like, for me, I want to see Jay be as pummeled as possible
Mhm.
because I feel like the way that a lot of people loved Jay in 2020, back when he was
Mhm.
under the bloodline, was he was getting his ass whooped by his
Yeah.
cousin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they gave us
Yeah.
a reason to feel
Yeah.
like this sympathy for him. So I feel
Yeah.
like they need to utilize this angle. I feel like Gunther is, if they book it perfectly, or at least close to perfect, he's the perfect opponent to do that to.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I think taking Jay down just a tad, building Gunther up a little more, like to feel like it's an insurmountable task
Mm-hmm.
makes all the sense in the world. It makes all the sense in the world. And God, I didn't even that is 10 weeks, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
it's 10 weeks.
I don't know how,
And they couldn't stretch it out like they do in Charlotte Flair because it's like
bro. Don't get me started on her, man. Don't get me
we'll
started.
talk about her. Oh, trust me, I got some thoughts.
Yeah,
But
because that we'll get to it because I have something else I want to say about that too. But yeah,
yeah, there's like we got 10 weeks of this.
hmm
So it's like, do you see do they have Gunther hit up his cousins and little brother to be like, hey, can you be a foil for Jay at some point, like to play some mind games?
hmm
Do they tap in to his past to make his present hard? Like, it's so many directions they can go for, and it's like I can't really predict it. Like,
yeah,
what would get me to be 100% like feel like this isn't a boring build, but they definitely have to tighten up with this Gunther and honestly Jey Uso too, because a lot of people
yeah,
was losing, and I feel like because per 5 was select, the this match was planned before they faced off at Saturday night's main event.
right.
I feel like that match shouldn't have happened
It shouldn't have.
because that took a lot of people out too. Because it's like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, he's beaten him 3 times.
yeah, yeah. I like less is more. Less is more. I don't know what else like they can do right now to make it more compelling outside of what you just said, but they have to do something because if this is the trajectory that we're going on and we're going to stay on this path right now, bro,
This should pull Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. It should open night 2 and get it over with.
yeah, 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 because I don't want to see it. I don't want to. I don't. Mm-mm.
Yeah, like
You could really, to be honest with you, you could end this at Elimination Chamber, and I'm okay with it.
pull a John Cena in 2008 and have it and No Way Out 2008 instead of
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah. The sooner the better.
Yeah, so hopefully they lock in and actually, because it is WrestleMania, you have to, because I saw this analogy and I feel like they hit the nail on the coffin. They said this WrestleMania 40 was Avengers Endgame.
Mm,
And it felt like the build so far, it was obviously changed. The build so far to WrestleMania 41 is post Endgame, and we all know how that is. Post
bro.
Endgame has been horrible.
That is
It's
absolutely perfect.
been solid to horrible.
Yeah.
No good, solid to horrible,
Kang was the best part of that fact.
and
That
he's
phase.
gone.
Hey, we
So,
shall see.
well, for now, he's gone for now.
He's gone for now.
He's gone for now because Jonathan Major's already on his comeback. So
Hey man,
we'll probably see him in like 2 years.
it'd be nice.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see what else happened on Raw. Io Sky and Dakota Kai had a great match against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Well, I should say Io Sky and Dakota Kai had a great match against Liv Morgan because Raquel was just there.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. They gotta do some more with her too. I gotta see some more from Raquel.
You know how I mentioned Chelsea and Chelsea Green? Chelsea and Piper Niven are doing the whole security and
Yeah,
champion better than Liv and Raquel.
they are. They are.
So yeah, they
And
need to do something.
that's not even really compelling, to be honest with you.
Mm, it's
For me,
lighthearted. It's
for me.
lighthearted and to the
Yeah,
side. I'm not finna say it's the greatest thing I've ever seen, but
yeah,
if you had to compare the two, Chelsea and Piper
yeah,
way better. And shout out
yeah.
Liv, she literally cut her head on, I believe it was a knee brace. I think it was either
She,
Dakota's knee brace because Raquel had her in a power pump position and was just swinging her.
yeah,
And for some reason, Liv didn't cuff her head because usually they cuff their head when they're getting swung around. So
mhm.
she just and bow. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, she's taken some shots over the last
3
couple
weeks
of years.
actually. Like
Yeah,
I think 3 weeks ago, busted nose. The last week against EO, she had a busted lip.
yeah.
And this week she had a cut over her eye. And I'm like, young lady.
You gotta stop, bro. In this era, you can't.
Like, lady, what do we do? Like, you got to protect the pretty face. Come on now.
Yeah, yeah. I honestly, bro, I think she's better. Like, she's better without Raquel. I don't think she needs that.
It was good for the story that they was telling with Raquel, or at least a little bit good.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, she really don't. She really
yeah.
don't need to.
She,
Like,
she she's better by herself. I think and she. It's not like she needs like a mouthpiece or anything like that.
and she's not
Short in
talking.
the
She's doing the
night.
talking for her. She's doing
Yeah,
the talking for herself. She's just there for the bodyguard. But it's like,
yeah,
who are you? She's protecting you from
yeah.
because
Especially without the title. Like
yeah,
I got it more so with her having the title, but now that she doesn't have it anymore, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel necessary.
yeah. And then I was surprised with this outcome because they lost
Yeah,
and they have a future tag team title match.
yeah.
So that's what threw me off. So other than that, yeah, the match was pretty good. So I'm not really complaining too much about that.
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber. We mentioned Elimination Chamber. Bailey defeated Lyra Valkyria. You
Yeah,
know how we mentioned the women's tag team and the women's mid card titles?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Bailey just won clean over
Yeah, and she's
the
the
champion.
champ, right?
Yep.
So, like, this is what I'm talking about, bro. Like, you're not doing anything for your champion if this is what you're gonna keep doing. There's no need to be in a match if this is what's gonna end up happening.
That's exactly what I said last night.
And to be honest with you, not to skip over this, but it parallels with this. The whole Rey Mysterio Logan Paul thing match.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. They're clashing because we're gonna talk about them both at the same time.
Yeah, but it's like you kind of already know. I don't want to know. This is how I am with movies and shows, right? I don't watch trailers because I don't want to know the story. I don't want to see anything that's going to spoil the ending for me. I just go in blind. That's what I want from my matches. I know that sometimes you're gonna know the outcome from the beginning. There are times where that happens. But for the most part, I would like it to be a surprise, if possible. If this is how you're gonna book certain talent against each other where it's predictable as to who's gonna win the match, I can't do that, bro. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I don't like the champion losing.
I don't like the champion losing either.
Like
It doesn't make any sense. Why does she have the title if she's gonna lose like that?
I understood her getting eliminated at the elimination at Royal Rumble,
Mm-hmm.
so they can build a story with her and the Pitbull, Ivy now.
Right. Right.
But to have her lose a qualifying match
Yeah.
Like if she would have won and lost in the chamber after a good showing, then
That
I'll
makes
be
more
like,
sense.
bet
Yeah.
that makes sense. But to just have her lose the qualifying match and then and it's like that's not how you build up a title, because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're beatable.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should not
Yeah.
be beatable.
But this is also why I keep saying that I need the bloodline to extend into other titles. I need for women's champions.
Or any faction with a woman in it, honestly. Just book it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like put Nia Jax in the bloodline, put Naomi in the bloodline, give them a title. Let's see how dominating that would be in that story. But I like the only way you're going to be able to actually put value on these titles is if you have somebody that can defend the title and bring some value to it. This is like when Randy Orton had the IC title, or
In Evolution.
Yeah, like build the title up with a compelling story. Putting the title on Lyra like that and having her lose like that, it's not compelling storytelling,
And it
bro.
was a solid
And
match.
I expect more from Triple H, bro. This is what pisses me off. Because he was compelling in the ring as a storyteller.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, you have the pen now. Like you should be compelling around the board with your and the thing is, he has his moments.
Yes.
Where it's
does.
it's compelling.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're still going to call out the point where it's like there should be more for this person and this person and this person.
Yeah.
And there should be more for Lyra. Like
Yeah.
they should literally be giving us a reason to care. They should not have her, because when we saw her on Raw, she was cutting a promo backstage.
Yeah.
That wasn't interesting.
Yeah.
That was not interesting at all. Like we didn't see her wrestle at all when she came here.
Yeah.
And then it's like that was the go home to Royal Rumble, whatever. But it's like nothing happened with her.
Yeah.
You're giving more care to Chelsea Green on SmackDown than you are Lyra on Raw. And then people question why either people don't talk about the segments with Lyra, or people like her in her position, or because they're not giving us a reason to give a shit.
Yeah.
I say this every year. I've said this in season 1, season 2, season 3, in the current season, on Public Enemies podcast, on any podcast that I've been on. If you're not giving me a reason to give a shit, then why should I give a shit? Why should I talk about it?
It's simple math.
Like, I'm gonna use AEW as an example. The reason why a lot of people don't see me talk about Chris Jericho anymore is because I don't give a shit about what he's doing. He's not compelling to me. And instead of me hate watching his segments, I go do something else.
Yeah.
And I go talk about something else.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's going to get to that point with Lyra and her title reign. Hopefully, I would love to get on this show next week and be like, I'm going to eat my words. Hopefully they do something compelling with her next week with Ivy Nile or anybody in general. Like give her a couple of line her up some challenges and let her cook, character-wise as well as in ring.
What's the point of bringing the title in?
You just gave her.
You just created a title. What we're going to do with it? What's the point of bringing?
You just gave us this title. Is starting off to feel like the women's tag team titles when it first came. They created it just to shut people up.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the track record of those women's tag team titles from 2019, after Sasha Banks and Bayley lost those titles, you can tell they did not give a single fuck.
Yeah.
Because it went from them to the Iconics to makeshift tag team after makeshift tag team. Hell, Charlotte Flair and Asuka won it at one point in 2020. Yeah. A lot of people don't remember that. I remember because I was watching during the pandemic. It was some brutal times, but I was watching it.
Yeah.
So, trust me, it's leaning towards that way. I would love to get on the show and say I'm wrong. I would love to get online and be like, yeah, I'm wrong. But it's starting to feel that way, at least to me.
I mean, look, again, there's no need of the titles being there if this is what you're going to do. I need a compelling story. I need a reason to actually tune in. Bro, it should have been a fight for me to either watch this or the Celtics game.
It was not a fight.
Not at all. Not at all.
Because I'm not gonna hold you. By the time it got to the 10 o'clock hour, I was dozing off. I'm like,
Look, Friday night,
I had to rewatch this morning to see what I fell asleep on.
Yeah, Friday night, I was trying to watch SmackDown. By 9:45, I
was out.
I laid back right here, and bro, by the time I woke up, next show was already on.
And speaking of fighting and all that stuff, don't get me started on Logan Paul, because we already might as well stick to it.
Okay. He's a good wrestler. Like, he's better than what I gave him credit for when he first came in.
Right.
I don't care about him.
the novelty, I think the novelty worn off.
It did. It did. So you remember when he came out last night and you heard CM Punk say, I didn't even know whose music that was? Yeah. I legit did not know whose music that was playing. I had to look at the graphic to see, oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. It's that time again.
It's like, oh, damn. And then he said, I didn't know who that was. And then Pat said, yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that happens a lot around here. Like, we don't know who half of these people are.
Yeah. I almost feel like he needs a rework. And it's crazy to say that, because I mean, he's only been in WWE for what,
since 2022?
Yeah, so about 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah, going on his third year. Yeah,
going on third year. So it's weird to say that he needs a rework already, especially when he had a little bit of time off. But something needs to be redone. I'm okay with stay a heel, stay a heel.
But yeah, they tried the babyface thing when he first got there, and they was like, "Yeah, no, this is not gonna work."
Nah, bro. Like, I don't know if he needs to be in a faction. I don't know if he needs to.
He would have to be there to be in the faction.
Yeah, that's
because he's there less than Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is never there.
That is the wildest thing. Like, he might need a Paul Heyman figure. You know, like,
the thing is,
I need to care.
He has the tools.
I know, but he's lazy, bro.
He just don't care. He doesn't care. He's just there to collect the check.
Yeah,
he's reaching Ronda Rousey territory,
bro. Can I be honest with you? I almost feel like Ronda Rousey is more compelling than he is.
No, what I mean by Ronda Rousey territory, that last run she had, you can feel that she didn't give a shit.
Oh yeah. But she, even in that time, I felt like she had something there. I don't feel anything there with Logan Paul. Like, as a talent, yes, I see he's a wrestler. I see he's good at wrestling. He's cool.
He can hang in there with the top dogs and the middle dogs and the lower card. We get it, but
it ain't there, man. It ain't. I can't.
Yeah. I just, like I said, I think novelty just wore off. And then I ain't gonna hold you, when they was teasing CM Punk and Logan Paul, I'm like, damn, even Punk can't get me to give a shit about you.
Nah, he doesn't. You can tell he doesn't.
Like, when he came out, when he started talking, you saw the camera cut to him. Well, they cut away quickly. He said, damn. He's like, God damn it.
Yeah, he doesn't even want to do it, bro.
He's like, please hurry up and come back, Roman, so I ain't got to deal with this shit. Please hurry up and come back, Seth. Well, let me hurry up and qualify Seth so I don't have to keep cutting promos on this man. I would rather fight Seth Rollins again than to have to deal with your ass
in there, bro.
We probably ain't gonna see John Cena into the chamber because he's still filming.
Yeah. So, I'd rather see Cena. And you already know I don't want to see Cena. I'd rather watch him over Logan Paul.
Yeah, so Raw this week was, it's like, I feel like the peak was the Jey Uso thing. Jey Uso and Gunther thing, and then everything else was just like solid to whatever. How are we feeling about Raw on Netflix thus far, outside of our gripe that we started off with? Like, do Do you feel like they're hitting that point where they're just coasting because they know they
Yeah,
got their people?
already,
Yeah.
which makes no sense.
And we're like, what, 10 episodes in?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe less than that.
Maybe less. I gotta look on Netflix to verify, but
I Bro, I was actually thinking about this last last night. This is how bored I was watching Raw. You know how pissed Hulk Hogan got to be his logo was on a black mat?
yeah.
You know how pissed that man got to be right now? That's how boring Raw was for me last night,
You
man.
just started looking at the mat and started
I'm
like,
just staring
you
at random
know,
things.
you know, Hulk Hogan gotta be real pissed off that he gotta share a logo with the blacks.
Nah, nah. I hate to say this.
Yeah, they're 6 weeks in.
Yeah, man. I hate to say this, but they gotta change it up. Someone got to come in and do something
Yeah, yeah, I
because
agree.
it like and it's partially with the matches that we have in there as well. It's not even just the build up. It's like the matches that are there too. Is we need something to care about throughout. And
They
I
need to
like
give us some oomph because last year we
yeah,
had The Rock coming back.
yeah,
And even though it faced some backlash, because when The Rock came back and took Cody's spot, we was at your crib for
yeah,
for I believe it was your birthday.
yeah, I think
It was
so.
for your birthday. So and I pulled up Twitter. I just casually pulled up Twitter because we wasn't watching. We was
Yeah,
literally having a good time. I pulled up Twitter and I saw The Rock come back, and I was like, "Oh, he actually came back."
yeah,
And I told you, and you was like, "Oh shit, this is going to be interesting." And
yeah,
then when we saw the backlash, and they actually created the final boss,
yeah.
that gave us something to sink our teeth
Oh,
in.
amazing, bro.
Right now, it's like,
Amazing.
and what are we doing? Like, we need something to hook. Like, it's like professional wrestling. It's just like watching anime or watching a movie. We need
Hmm.
something to sink our teeth in.
Yeah.
Right now, we're not getting none to sink our teeth in yet.
It's like eating cotton candy. There's nothing substantial there. It's
It's just, it's
nothing
it's
to
quick and
actually,
straight to the point.
yeah, it's just it's a quick little nice little sweet treat, but it's nothing that is going to get you through your day. And I think I don't know because I really don't want to say you need to have um legends come back to make this a better thing. But I think sprinkling in a couple of people might be nice. Like, for example, I know Adam Pierce is doing his thing on Raw, right? But I haven't cared about a general manager since Teddy Long.
True.
Like, actually cared about a general manager.
The last one I care about a little bit is SmackDown's Nick Aldis because
Yeah, he's cool.
he actually does something
Yeah,
interesting, and
he's
he
cool.
has a presence about him that you'd be like, oh, okay, he's
Yeah,
interesting.
I just there was something about Teddy that just felt like he was ingratiated with the show. Like he needed you
To be
needed to
there.
see that. Yeah, you needed to see him. I don't need to see
I think
Adam
I've
Pierce.
said this before too. I feel like a lot of people get checked out on the general manager thing. It's because we know for a fact Triple H is running the show.
Yes.
Back then,
Yes.
you really didn't see Vince McMahon that much.
Yeah. So it felt like they were actually like
Yeah.
I
Like literally at the Royal Rumble, we had Triple H on the show.
yeah.
Put I Show Speed in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so what's the point of you having general managers?
There's no need. There's no need. I need to actually care about those positions. And I need to care about the little things. I need to care about the factions. I need to care about the managers of the factions.
Yep.
I need to care about these titles,
And right now they're just not. They're not cooking.
bro.
Like it's like putting a frozen pot roast in the oven. It's still in the freezing stages. Got to
You can see the potential.
either got to turn the temperature up, or you got to go find something else to watch until they start cooking.
Yeah, you see the potential is there. You
Yeah,
know the meal can be good.
you just gotta
You got to do the
start.
work.
Yeah, just gotta start cooking. Gotta start cooking with it.
Yeah,
And speaking of work, factions, and all that stuff, Solo Sikoa is back on
yeah,
SmackDown.
yeah,
And when I tell you, you know how usually when someone returns, you're like, "Oh shit!"
yeah,
I was like, "That was it."
yeah,
I just smacked my teeth. I just said, "All right,"
yeah,
because you know how you say you was falling asleep. I fell asleep. I woke up. I saw the timeline. I was like, I literally looked at my timeline and then I looked at the show back and I was just like, we're doing this again?
yeah, yeah,
we're doing Solo targeting Cody Rhodes again
yeah.
on purpose.
And
He's not the tribal chief.
he's not. And there's nothing for.
He's lost to him twice. Why do we care?
Yeah. I hate to say this, but I don't. One, he hasn't been gone long enough for me to care.
Wasn't he gone
about
like
a return.
2
He's
weeks?
been gone like 2 weeks, bro. He hasn't been gone long enough for me to care about a return. But two, there's nothing compelling with the story right now. The most compelling part of his story is Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Do something different with him.
So with this, I can see one or two things. I can see Solo teaming up with Jacob to face Cody Rhodes and a partner. Hell, they could throw Jey Uso back in there, but I feel like they should not intertwine with Gunther. Cody Rhodes and a partner. And they should tease dissension. Because the story that they was trying to tell with Solo Sikoa and the new bloodline was they only follow the tribal chief. Solo is not the tribal chief.
Yeah.
Solo lost and left them to wander around.
Yeah.
They can literally show resentment like, oh, why are you coming back all of a sudden? Where were you when we needed you?
Yeah. Or even tease Fatu lining up with Roman.
That's what I mean, because I ain't gonna hold you. The crowd can only pretend to hate Jacob Fatu so long.
Yeah, and bro, everyone loves that guy too much for him to like. He can be a face that doesn't.
He could be a badass face with an edge.
Yes,
he don't have to be a cookie cutter baby face.
Stone Cold was just like Stone Cold.
Just don't change his character. Just have him be himself.
Yes, it's very simple. It's the simple things that people mess up. This is simple.
Mm-hmm.
This is very simple. I think if you do something like that, where you allow Fatu to align himself with Roman and cause that dissension, that dissension will be that's right there. There's nothing to really do to make it happen. It just happens at that point. Have him team up with have a Solo team up with
just to get to that point. Have Jacob and Solo team up, and then Solo get too much dip on his chip, get too big for his britches, and Jacob just snap on him.
Yeah. Honestly, I think have Solo align himself with The Rock. Allow it to be that tease, Rock versus Roman. I can rock with that. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But
that's if we do Rock and Roman, because The Rock got the UFL starting, so that's gonna be another distraction.
About that, bro.
That starts March 28th, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't moved on from the need of Rock versus Roman Reigns at this point. I just moved on. Like if it
Yeah.
happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, I'm not losing sleep over
I'm
it.
okay if we don't have it either, but I think that would just be the thing that helps create, that crack to be there.
Yeah, because we're at that point in the Bloodline story where I feel like they're just beating a dead horse at this point.
Oh,
That's
they've
just me.
been there. When
Oh,
they
they've been
decided to rehash the bloodline with Solo,
yeah, that was beating a dead horse.
no.
And then after, I feel like the finale for me was Tribal Comeback with Roman regaining the Ulafala. That was it. After that, everybody's just been coasting.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't need to see anything else with that.
Yeah, we don't need to see a bloodline anymore. Like I feel like we just need to move on. Like at this point, we're done.
Yeah.
You can still acknowledge the bloodline because at the end of the day, they're still related. Solo's baby cousin, Jacob's baby cousin, the Usos are cousins. Roman Reigns is the top guy. We get it.
You know what would be nice? If Zilla Fatu came to WWE.
At some point, he definitely will. He just got to stay on track and actually not suck.
Yeah, you pair him up with Solo, have that be a tag team for a little bit or whatever.
He can team up with anybody. Hell, he can link up with Jacob. They linked up on the Indies.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's a lot of ways they can go with the members of the bloodline. I just don't want to see the bloodline anymore. I'm at that point. Yeah. And that leads me to Cody Rhodes' bloodline problem. I feel like after Elimination Chamber, he should not have any interactions with the bloodline or any member of the whoever he faces at WrestleMania. That should be his sole focus.
Bro,
the whole Tongans and Samoans. He need to move past that.
Yeah, I don't even want to see him buddy with Jey. Nah. That's how over it I am.
I don't like when they dapped up on SmackDown. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yep. I again just not caring.
It happens. So hopefully they do something with Jacob and Solo on the bloodline. The Street Profits apparently want the smoke. We saw them return at the Royal Rumble. Yeah. So hopefully they do something with them. Pretty Deadly defeated DIY to earn a future title shot in the future. Hopefully, we talk about championships and bookings. They need to same song and dance. They need to do something with that tag division on both shows. Yeah. I didn't even mention the Creed brothers intentionally getting disqualified on Raw. And I'm like, y'all are fucking stupid.
That was dumb.
Like a lot of decisions are dumb at this point. And I'm at that point now. I'm like, everybody's dumb. Yeah. Everybody's dumb. Gunther's dumb because you targeted a Samoan who loves adversity. So you're dumb. Cody's always dumb. Solo is just dresses dumb with hoodies. Everybody's just dumb. Like it's the year of the dumb. Yeah. That's what it feels like right now. Everybody's just dumb.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Then last bit of WWE stuff we want to talk about is Charlotte Flair. Listen. We know for a fact that she's picking Tiffany Stratton. Yeah. Why are we beating around the bush?
So did you see what Mark Henry came out and said?
Oh, brother.
Okay.
Let's pull this up. Let's pull this up. Yes, brother. Let's brother. Let's pull this up. Matter of fact, let's pull this up, right? I'm about to pull this up right here, right now. I reacted to it. I was like, oh, you gotta be shitting me. Let's pull it up. Ladies and gentlemen, on Busted Open Radio, Mark Henry said the following, and I quote, I would do Tiffany Stratton and Rhea. He's talking about Ripley. Winner takes all. That way, Charlotte Flair can win it and she will get 2 titles, which will make her have 2 wins and move her from 14 to 16. Now, Mark, end quote. Mark, here's what's wrong with that statement. She wouldn't be 16. She's already 16.
Yeah.
They don't count the NXT title and the Divas title for some reason.
Which is
she's
weird.
already 16.
Yeah.
If you count all the titles she's won.
Yeah.
That will make her 18. That will make her 18-time women's champion. And on top of that, why do we want a winner take all again? The last 2 times this company has done winner take all, they fucked up a lot of things.
Yes.
They did winner take all in 2019 with Becky Lynch. Love Becky Lynch. But they had no idea what to do with that. And they had her lose it a month later. The second time they did winner take all was Roman Reigns defeating Brock Lesnar in 2022. And that fucked up an entire show to where they had no world champion.
Yeah.
To the point where they had to create another title while still acknowledging the other 2 titles that Cody Rhodes currently has.
Yeah.
We don't need another winner take all.
No. And I might be in the minority here.
Please.
Why do we need Charlotte Flair as champion right now?
My brother.
Why?
Did you tune into the show last week?
Yes.
We said the same thing last week. Why?
Why?
Do they want us to care about this?
I don't get it, man.
Listen, on the Public Enemies podcast, I jokingly was like, hey, we need Charlotte Flair because I'm going to tell you right here. This division needed someone like a Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Because it was stagnant while she was away.
Yeah.
But instead of doing something different and authentic and creative, they did the same song and dance.
Yeah.
And I feel like the only reason why it feels that way is because they originally wanted her to be a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
But the crowd rejected her on that Raw after the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been pivoting ever since. But it's like, I don't know who comprehended that she should have been a babyface after those return promos that they gave her. The return promo screamed, I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck all y'all. I'm coming for my title. So we should have they should have had a plan for her to be an asshole.
Yeah. I just don't care about a title reign, to be honest with you.
And honestly, that's where a lot of people are at right now. It's like, okay, she wins the title at WrestleMania. Then what? Same song and dance for another couple months and then she loses it again to whoever wins the Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Or do they take that chance and have Tiffany Stratton winning over her?
I think...
Which will be 2 straight WrestleMania losses for her because she lost in 39 and then she will lose here.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Why does she need to be the champion, bro?
My brother.
Why do we need that?
I pitched her to either... I feel like we say this. We have the same question in Song and Dance every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That she's around.
Yeah. I mean, look,
and I feel like this company does not know how to book her without a title.
They don't, obviously. But hey, if you want to build up the IC title or the United States title, like I guess use her for that too. But we don't need... She doesn't need to be the champion. She does not need to be the champion. Yeah. I don't like this whole like rinse and repeat method, man. If you're trying to build up new talent, bring in the same old talent to win. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm going to absolutely lose it if John Cena wins that title, man. No. I will disappear as fast as his hair. I'm done. Like, I'm out. I'm out. Unplugged.
Like, I'm out. This shit, I'm out.
I'm out, man. I can't. And that's how it feels to me with her. Like, you're just forcing this. If it was something that was organic and made sense, cool. I'm not mad at that. This just feels like you're forcing it, man.
Yeah.
Without permission.
You're force feeding me some bullshit that we already tasted a million times.
Yeah.
So, yes, I've gone on record and say, hey, we need Charlotte Flair. This is not what I meant.
Not at all.
So now we're at that point and at that dilemma to where it's like, okay, this is like we said it with Jey Uso and Gunther.
Mhm.
They need to give us a reason to give a shit about this too.
Yeah.
This is now the time as we get closer to the Elimination Chamber. And then once the Elimination Chamber is over, y'all need to give me a reason to give a shit.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I ain't gonna told you. I already told you. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not buying the tickets to WrestleMania this year.
That doesn't make sense.
I need y'all to give me a reason to watch the show. I'm gonna watch it. It could be background noise.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Because trust me, I watched WrestleMania the 25th anniversary. I don't remember none of that shit.
Bro, I don't either.
Except for Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
That was a good match.
That was it. That was it. But you see,
but that wasn't the main event though, right?
No, the main event was Triple H versus Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So basically, you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
It's a one match show. It should not be a one match show. It should be a multiple match show to what I care about. Yeah. And hopefully, as we get closer, they give us a reason to care. But as far as with Charlotte has to lose to solidify Tiffany Stratton, because if they just use Tiffany Stratton as
champion,
just to give her another stat, then I don't give a shit. That's a domino effect because I don't care about Tiffany because I know how this works with y'all. Because if they lose first, then they're gonna trickle down. Then no one's gonna care anymore.
If they go with Charlotte winning the title, someone got to tell me the difference between Triple H and Vince McMahon.
Triple H is bald and Vince is not.
It gives them time off. That's pretty much it, man.
So yeah, so as we get closer to WrestleMania, we're definitely going to look at and pay attention, and I'm going to dissect everything that is happening and everything that is going on.
Yeah.
And I am going to tell you if this works or not.
Hey, man.
And the last bit of tidbit we got is, speaking of the women's title, we have Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky confirmed for the Raw after Elimination Chamber for the world title. And I'm seeing a little backlash. They was like, why is it not on the pay-per-view? Or why isn't it this, that, and third? Triple H said they're going to make the weekly shows as important as pay-per-views. And technically with Netflix, we're paying to see this. Because it's on Raw. We're paying to see because we have to pay for Netflix. So technically this is a pay-per-view match.
I mean, you paid for Peacock too, bro.
Yeah, we're paying for everything.
Like,
everything's getting paid for. Nothing is free.
Like,
if it was on SmackDown, then it ain't free because that's free. You gotta pay for that too because it's a premium channel.
Yeah.
So we're paying for everything. So that excuse doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
They need to make these shows important. So it's like if it's for the post elimination chamber, then it is what it is. We know EO is not winning.
That's exactly what I was about to say. If you're going to have these championship matches on Raw and SmackDown, there has to be some intrigue, like a possibility of her actually losing the title.
I mean, they got a couple of times. She's not going to. They have a chance to try to convince us, but we know for a fact she's not going to.
She's not going to lose it. She's not going to lose it.
It's Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Triple H's favorite daughter.
Got it back.
And Triple H's favorite daughter. She's not losing. No. So yeah.
I mean, she celebrated with Taker, bro.
Yeah, that basically told you like straight up, yeah, I'm never losing this title because she wasn't supposed to lose it the first time. She just got injured.
Yeah.
So, if I looking at the notes, I feel like we pretty much covered everything. I'll preview AEW Grand Slam Australia and Vengeance Day with Public Enemies on Thursday. That way, everything is processed on that end. You gonna catch WWE Legends and Future Greats? Let's fucking go. They're pretty much new take on Tough Enough.
Yeah.
It's on Sunday or something. I think it's either
What?
this. I think it's the 16th. It's on A&E.
A&E.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna do that.
I might check. I'll put it in the chat, but I'll definitely check it out the first episode to see how I feel about it. But
Yeah,
because
I wouldn't
they
mind
showed a
watching.
couple of clips. They showed a couple of clips,
Yeah,
and Gunther basically said, she was like, I want to try to be the great. He's like, oh, you want to try? You want to be the great? You better develop the grit because don't nobody want to see Barbie. Don't nobody want to give a shit. Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care.
yeah,
He basically said, I don't give a shit about this.
yeah.
I don't give a fuck about no try and all that shit. Like I don't care. Like
The only reason why he's even there,
he's like
acting like he might actually care, is because he's getting paid for it.
yeah. He's like oh that's what you want to do. You want to try to be great.
Yeah.
He's like big deal.
Look, man, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. But
Yeah, I won't say dedicate your time to it. Like definitely,
yeah,
we'll definitely check it out to see like okay if this is something that we want to watch or something we just like. We'll catch clips of it and call it a day.
yeah. But I will say one thing that's annoying me about WWE right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta consolidate the channels.
It's all over the place. Did you see that shit? Did you see that shit with Stephanie McMahon? Like they finna have a.
What is that?
So now it's a interview segment that we gotta watch on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, you're doing too much.
We all over the place at this point.
This is what I'm saying. What's the difference between Triple H and Vince McMahon?
We're all over the place. They're saying yes. It's not even that. It's like TKO is saying yes to too much shit.
They are.
Because Mondays we got Netflix. Tuesdays we got the CW. If you watch NXT. Wednesdays, I believe you have this AEW stuff. So I don't know I don't think they do Wednesdays. So you have Fridays on USA Network. I heard that too. And then on Sundays you have A&E. Yeah. So that's 4 networks.
Yeah.
4 different networks. Netflix, CW, USA, A&E. Yeah. And then whenever that Stephanie stuff premieres, ESPN Plus. That's 5 different things I have to write down to remember. My brain can only process so much shit before I just say, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to sleep.
Yes, because why not either put majority of this stuff on Netflix?
Yeah. The only thing they put on Netflix is Raw stuff, and they don't even put the whole library on Raw.
Right.
Because I was going to start a retrospective series on a certain era, on a particular era of Raw, but it's not all on the network. So I'm like, there's no point in me starting this video right now.
Yeah. So if you're not gonna do that, put the other stuff on USA or something. Like
they had everything consolidated on Peacock, but when they moved to Netflix, they took all the Raw stuff and put it on Netflix. But Netflix has this philosophy of like, we're not going to add everything at once. We're going to add things over time. So that means we went from having access to everything immediately on Peacock to having to wait, for you to put it on Raw on Netflix.
And I know there were certain things that they had on Peacock that people weren't watching. Get it. But to split it up on multiple networks because some people weren't watching some of your shows on Peacock, there gonna be less people watching it on 5-6 different networks.
Because I think now they're talking about I think I have the bundle.
That bundle? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think I have the bundle because I have Disney Plus.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I have Hulu, so they gave me Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus. So it's all under one umbrella.
I'm not. I have access to ESPN Plus through a friend of mine's subscription, and I still don't watch it.
There's nothing there for me to watch.
There's nothing on there. So I'm not watching. I would possibly think about watching this if it was on Netflix. Possibly think about it.
But for me to go find this Stephanie thing,
on my way
to find this just for Stephanie's interview segments,
and you know what? I don't know that Stephanie's a great interviewer. I don't know that. Why I want to dedicate my time to go watch her interview? Why? You had a more compelling argument if you had someone else to take care of that.
But my thing is that type of stuff should be on Netflix.
That's my point.
Yeah. Because
like having it on multiple things does not make any sense. You're splitting. That's like if you did retroactives on YouTube and Gresh Unleashed on, let's say, like strictly Spotify. Like,
or if I had basically if we had Public Enemies on Twitter only, Gresh Unleashed on YouTube only, or no, scratch that, Gresh Unleashed on Facebook only.
Oh yeah,
and then I say, hey, the only way you can get the audio format is if you subscribe to Google Play.
Yeah,
that's the only audio format that I'm going. So that means you have to go out of
and
your way to
pay
subscribe
for it
and pay for it behind a paywall.
Yeah,
after putting the video format live on Facebook.
Yeah. That sounds like bad business.
That's bullshit,
bro. Like they had a better opportunity with WWE Network, man. Like this would have worked better on there.
On the network, yes.
On your own network.
The network was perfect.
I didn't mind it.
The network, like the chapters, all this, I will say that time, blue in the face. The network was perfect for everything. I remember everything on there. Legends House, Holy Foley with Mick Foley and his family, his documentary stuff. Like I remember all those stuff that we had access to.
Yeah.
But it's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
You got to subscribe to. And then they're talking about, this is allegedly, but they're talking about moving the NXT archive to the CW app. So that's another fucking app that I got to keep up with. Here, so it's like at this point, and then they got the WWE Vault. So they're uploading a lot of stuff on there on YouTube. And then they have an NXT Vault on YouTube. So it's like, it's a lot of stuff they expect me to have. But y'all need to understand, my attention span can only last so fucking long before I check out.
And in this economy,
if it's free, sure, I'll subscribe to it. I'll watch it in my free time.
Yeah.
But if it's ours, I have to pay for it.
No.
Buddy.
No.
I'm already contemplating canceling a lot of shit as is.
Bro, me too. Like, bro, the amount of cost for eggs right now, I don't even want to separate the yolk from the egg white now at this point.
I paid the most I paid for eggs right now was like $10, but that was because I shop at Sam's.
Right. And that's
and this it's like a multiple. It's more in there. But I still shouldn't be paying $10 for that much.
You shouldn't be paying $10 for eggs, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. So, no. I definitely believe they had a better opportunity with building multiple shows and doing development with the WWE Network than they do splitting things up with multiple networks. I won't care, to be honest with you. Yeah. I'm not going to care about any of the stuff they got going on outside of the main shows. You keep this up. I can't even tell you last time I put CW on, bro.
It's on right now, and I'm paying attention to like certain things, and I'm like, this is not interesting.
The last time I watched CW, I think Smallville's series finale was on.
The last time I watched the CW was because one of my god sisters was in one of their supernatural shows. I believe it was the Legacies, the Vampire Diaries spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, hey, I'm on this episode. Make sure you tune in. I tuned in. Didn't know what the fuck was going on. Because I'm like, I have not watched the CW since the originals with Joseph Morgan and all them Daniel Gillies when they was on their show. And that was in like 2013, 2014. So it's been a minute. So when she told me to watch that, I was like, I don't know what the fuck going on. Where you at? I literally texted her, I said, where you at? Like, where are you? So I can see this. And she showed me, I said, cool, you did a good job. And I turned that shit off. And that was the last time I watched the CW. And then I watched it for when NXT moved over there. But then even now, a lot of it is kind of like, it's interesting, but it's not interesting. Like
I will see.
And I watched All American. I'll say that too. For All American. That was like season 1.
I watched All American on Netflix.
And you already told me why you couldn't watch it, because you had adults playing kids. That and Euphoria.
So no, All American. I'm okay. It was okay a little bit. I just lost touch with it. But yeah, Euphoria was way. That's
That
just
was way too stupid.
that's just that no. But yeah, CW. I would because I understand what NXT is doing on CW in terms of like trying to build up a profile and everything. I get it. But you want me to care about NXT? Because I don't watch NXT. You want me to care about NXT? Put it on a network I want to watch. Netflix is there. Honestly, if WWE Network was still around, I would probably be subscribed to it and watch it on there. Probably.
And that's the thing too. Like where I think they upload the archives of NXT like a couple of weeks in later anyway. So it's like if
Yeah.
you don't watch it live, you're stuck.
Yeah. So
You're-
I'll see clips of NXT on Twitter.
yeah.
That's about it. That's my extent with NXT. And I want to watch it, but I'm just not. I just don't think about it. So by the time I remember, it's already off.
Yeah.
Put it somewhere I want to watch it.
And speaking of off and watching, we appreciate you guys for tuning in with us because that's all we got for this week. Where can they find you on social media, my brother?
Yeah, you can follow me at OTS Media Co. That's my company's handle. I try to keep up with a lot of news with sports, gaming, music, movies, fashion. So just catch us there, and Twitter at Derek_OTS. That's DERRICK.
Yeah, I'm always tagging him in shit. So
yeah,
you already know. Like
that's about it.
But yeah, you already know what's going on. The reason why we kept the AEW and NXT talk to a limited this week is because we're going to talk about that on the Public Enemies podcast. That is going down this Thursday, 7:20 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys tune in with yours truly. Oh my God, Graham, CJ, Big Match Jizzle, and Waco Kid, Ben. Make sure you guys tune in with us as we digest everything AEW, NXT. We'll preview WWE Vengeance Day, which is going down this weekend on Saturday. We'll talk about AEW Grand Slam, which will be going down after NBA All-Star. So that shit probably won't happen until like midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning. Who knows how long those things are? Probably not. I am not watching that shit. I'm not even finna try. I'll probably put it on the background, like if I need some background noise while I'm editing something. But I'm not going to be paying attention.
The only reason why I'm watching it or tuning into the first half of it is because I got to cover it on the sideline, guys. That is it. If I had to cover it, I'm not watching that. Man.
Yeah, nah. Luckily, I'm not on a basketball podcast yet, so
yeah,
I'm safe for right now. But yeah, make sure you guys tap in at his Gresh, AO is Gresh, everywhere else. Next week, Jermaine should be back. Highlight should be back. The trio should be back. But for now, hopefully you guys tap in, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast. We appreciate you guys. We're on. I believe we're almost at 5,000 downloads for across the board. So we appreciate you guys for constantly listening to yours truly, as well as my crew, for basically ramble about professional wrestling in and outside of the ring. Basically, other than that, hopefully you guys stay safe out here. Hopefully I sound a little bit better next week because I can hear my voice getting a little raspy. But hopefully everything sounds better next week. But that being said, you guys stay safe out here in the streets. Go Birds! And remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Y'all be breezy. Man, the Birds really dog walked them bitches.
Yeah, man. Wait till next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put in my application. Like, you know what? I'm gonna go Birds next year. Like fuck this. Like I'm tired of being embarrassed. 2 years ago.
I'll bring you through the back, bro.